There's a moment every man faces, but few ever notice it. You meet a woman, the energy feels right, the connection seems real. Then suddenly something shifts. She grows distant, colder, or starts acting differently. You wonder what changed. The truth is nothing went wrong. You were just being silently tested. Every woman, consciously or not, tests a man to see if his confidence is real or just a performance. And if you fail these tests, she loses respect, attraction, and trust. But when you understand them, you rise above the game. You stop chasing validation and start radiating quiet power. Before we dive deeper, take a second to like this video and subscribe. This channel is all about helping you master your emotions, your mindset, and your presence through Stoic philosophy, so you can become unshakable in love and in life. Number 1, the test of emotional control. Women don't trust a man who's controlled by his emotions. They might say something sharp, withdraw affection, or suddenly act cold. Not to hurt you, but to see who you are beneath the surface. If your sense of peace collapses at the slightest hint of rejection, it reveals your foundation was built on her attention, not your own self-worth. A Stoic man doesn't react impulsively. He pauses. He breathes. He lets reason step in before emotion takes the lead. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle is everything when she tests your calm. If you remain steady, she feels something few women ever feel today: safety. But emotional control doesn't mean pretending not to care. It means you care from a place of peace, not insecurity. You can express yourself without losing your balance. You can care about her without clinging. You can correct disrespect without raising your voice. That quiet confidence makes her lean in. It tells her, this man's emotions belong to him, not to me. Think about it. Most men crumble when they feel they're losing a woman. They argue, over-explain, or beg for reassurance. The Stoic man does none of that. He steps back, observes, and lets her energy reveal itself. He knows that no woman can truly respect a man who loses control trying to keep her. When you pass the test of emotional control, something powerful happens. She starts to test you less. She realizes she can't shake your peace. And that's when she feels something rare: admiration. Because she sees that your calm is not a mask. It's who you are. Number 2, the test of boundaries. Every woman tests a man's boundaries, not because she wants to control him, but because she wants to know if he respects himself. A woman can only respect a man who respects his own limits. She might cancel plans, disrespect your time, or flirt in front of you. Not always consciously, but to see what you'll tolerate. How you respond defines whether she sees you as high value or disposable. Stoicism teaches that self-respect begins with discipline. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Freedom in this sense isn't rebellion. It's knowing your standards and not betraying them. When you tell a woman what you stand for and follow through, she knows your words carry weight. A man without boundaries will always be manipulated by those who sense his weakness. A boundary isn't anger, it's clarity. You don't need to shout, threaten, or explain yourself endlessly. You simply act. If someone disrespects your time, you stop giving it so easily. If someone crosses a line, you calmly remove access. This quiet firmness doesn't come from ego, it comes from self-respect. And that's what truly attracts women on a deeper level. When a woman tests your boundaries, she's not trying to destroy your peace. She's trying to find it. She wants to feel your steadiness, to know you're not afraid to say no when it matters. Because if you can't protect your own energy, how can you protect hers? Passing the boundary test transforms how women see you. You stop being an option and become a standard. You show that your value isn't dependent on who you're with. It's something you carry within. Number 3, the test of independence. Another silent test is independence. A woman will test to see if you need her approval to feel complete. She might withdraw affection, delay replies, will make you feel left out, not to punish you, but to see how you handle distance. This test is about your relationship with yourself. Do you crumble when she pulls away, or do you stay grounded in your own life? The Stoics believe that happiness lies in self-sufficiency, autarkia. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This means your mood, purpose, and peace must never depend on another person's behavior. When you're grounded in purpose, you don't chase attention, you attract it. You don't need her to complete you. She becomes a complement, not a necessity. Women feel the difference instantly. When you're clingy, she feels pressure. When you're detached from neediness, she feels curiosity. She wants to be near your calm, to understand your focus. Independence creates magnetic attraction because it communicates quiet abundance. You're not chasing love, you're choosing it. But independence isn't arrogance. It doesn't mean ignoring her or acting cold. It means you live a full life, purpose, discipline, growth, and she becomes part of it, not the center of it. You're emotionally available, but not emotionally dependent. This balance is where masculine energy thrives. Pass this test, and she realizes you're not another man searching for validation. You're the man who can walk alone. That makes you rare, and the rare always commands respect. Number 4, the test of consistency. A woman might test your consistency without saying a word. She'll observe your actions over time. Do your words match your behavior? Do you lose your discipline when she gives you attention? Or do you remain steady, driven, and reliable? These are the moments that reveal your true nature, and women can sense inconsistency faster than you think. Stoicism emphasizes integrity, doing what's right even when no one's watching. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The same applies here. Every time you remain consistent in your habits, tone, and values, you communicate strength without saying a word. Consistency is the quiet language of trust. When you say you'll do something and actually do it, you become predictable in the best way. Reliable, grounded, stable. That predictability builds respect. But when you change your behavior based on mood or female approval, you show instability, and that kills attraction faster than anything else. Women test consistency because words are easy, but discipline is rare. They want to see if your peace is permanent or conditional. Do you meditate only when life feels easy? Are you kind only when she's kind? Or do you remain centered regardless? A Stoic man is the same in sunlight and in storm. When you pass this test, she stops testing as much. She knows your character isn't a performance. It's a practice. You become the kind of man who doesn't talk about being high value. You embody it daily. Number 5, the test of detachment. The deepest test is detachment. The moment she sees whether you can let go. Women sense when a man fears losing them. They notice the subtle desperation, the over-texting, over-explaining, the panic beneath your calm words. Detachment isn't about coldness. It's about freedom from fear. Stoicism teaches us a more fatty, to love fate, to accept what leaves as easily as we welcome what comes. When you can love deeply but walk away peacefully if disrespected, you pass the ultimate test. You show her that your peace doesn't depend on her staying. It depends on your principles staying intact. This kind of strength unnerves people because it's unbreakable. You're not chasing outcomes. You're aligned with truth. You're willing to lose anyone who forces you to lose yourself. That's power. A man who doesn't fear loss can't be manipulated because his source of value isn't external, it's internal. Women test for this unconsciously. They'll withdraw, go quiet, or create distance to see what you'll do. If you beg or chase, you fail. If you stay still and calm, you pass. Because calmness under uncertainty is the truest sign of confidence. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you love without chains. And when a woman feels that kind of energy, she respects you deeply. Because deep down, she knows you don't just have value. your value. Number 6, the test of purpose. Every high-value man must face this test sooner or later, the test of purpose. A woman will subtly observe if your mission drives you or if she can become your new mission. In the beginning, she might admire your focus. But over time, she'll unconsciously test to see whether your purpose remains stronger than her presence. Most men fail this test. They get comfortable, lose their hunger, and start revolving their life around her instead of around meaning. That's when respect begins to fade. A Stoic man never sacrifices his purpose for pleasure. His focus remains anchored in something greater than comfort, growth, contribution, mastery, discipline. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This means that purpose isn't a hobby, it's identity. And when you forget your identity, you become replaceable. Women don't test this consciously, it's instinctual. They want to feel that your focus cannot be seduced by comfort. When she challenges your priorities, maybe by asking why you're so dedicated to your work or teasing you for being too serious, she's not truly mocking you. She's watching your response. If you start justifying, apologizing, or adjusting your path to make her feel better, she feels it. Your purpose was negotiable. But when you stand firm with calm conviction, when you explain your mission with quiet pride, she feels admiration. Because deep down, women want to stand beside a man with vision, not one who abandons it for validation. The Stoic path demands that you put meaning before mood. When you train, study, or build, even when no one praises you, you prove that your discipline doesn't depend on applause. This kind of consistency radiates masculine power because it shows that you're not living for the moment, but for eternity. A woman might not say it, but she feels when she's with a man who lives by principle instead of impulse. Passing the test of purpose means you never lose yourself in love. You can love deeply, but never at the cost of your mission. You don't make her your entire world. You invite her to share it. And that is what makes a man truly magnetic. His refusal to abandon the very path that made him powerful. Number 7, the test of integrity. The last and perhaps most silent test of all is integrity. A woman might not articulate it, but she's always watching if your words and values truly align. She'll notice how you treat others, how you act under pressure, and how you behave when no one's looking. Integrity isn't spoken, it's sensed. And when a man's actions betray his words, something in her heart closes, even if she can't explain why. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time talking about what a good man should be. Be one." This truth echoes through time because it's the foundation of all respect. You can talk about stoicism, discipline, and masculinity all day, but if you break your word, lie to protect your ego, or act without honor, no amount of words can rebuild what was lost. Women feel authenticity. They feel when your peace is genuine and when it's a facade. Sometimes this test comes quietly. Maybe she observes how you treat a waiter. Maybe she watches how you speak about others when they're not present. Or maybe she notices how you react when faced with temptation, not just with women, but with shortcuts, dishonesty, or weakness. These moments are invisible to the careless man, but to the Stoic man, they're sacred opportunities to prove virtue through action. Integrity is the glue that holds all other virtues together. Emotional control, boundaries, independence. They all collapse if your actions betray your morals. When a woman sees that you live by code, even when no one's watching, she relaxes. She trusts. Because integrity breeds security. Not the kind you promise, but the kind she feels when your character stays consistent no matter the situation. When you pass the test of integrity, you no longer need to prove your worth. You become trustworthy by nature. A man of integrity doesn't seek validation because his conscience is clean. He sleeps well, walks tall, and speaks little because he knows his life is his message. And that, in the end, is the highest form of value a man can ever possess. Every man faces these tests, though few ever recognize them for what they are. They're not games, and they're not traps. They're mirrors. Silent reflections of who you are beneath the surface. Women don't test you to destroy you. Life tests you through them to refine you. Each challenge she gives, the moments of distance, the questioning, the unpredictability, they're all invitations for you to rise above your impulses and prove your strength through stillness. When you learn to master your emotions, you become the calm in chaos. When you set boundaries, you communicate that your soul has worth. When you hold on to your purpose, you remind the world that you were born for more than comfort. When you remain independent, you show that your happiness cannot be owned. When you stay consistent, you prove that your values are not situational. They are part of your nature. When you live with detachment, you embody the rarest form of confidence, peace with loss. And when you hold your integrity, you become untouchable, because a man who won't betray his principles cannot be broken by any test. The Stoics never spoke about winning relationships. They spoke about winning yourself. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all pointed to the same truth. The world will press you, tempt you, and challenge you, but your response defines your freedom. The silent tests of women are simply one of the many arenas where your philosophy is revealed. They show you whether your Stoicism is real or just theory, because philosophy means nothing until pressure arrives. When you start seeing these tests not as threats, but as opportunities, everything changes. You stop reacting. You start observing. You stop chasing. You start choosing. You stop seeking approval and start embodying presence. Women feel it, people feel it, and even life itself begins to move differently around you. You no longer demand respect. You command it through the way you live, breathe, and stand in your truth. In the end, being high value isn't about money, looks, or status. It's about inner wealth. It's about living in a way that no external force can shake your peace. It's when your self-respect becomes your currency, your discipline your armor, and your silence your loudest statement. Because a man who doesn't need validation to know his worth, that man becomes magnetic, unshakable, and eternal. So remember this, life will always test you. People will always test you. And women, too, will test you, not because they want you to fail, but because they want to see if you're real. Don't run from the tests. Don't complain about them. Embrace them, because every test you pass makes you more of what you were meant to be. Not just a high-value man, but a man of unbreakable character. Be calm in storms. Be firm in boundaries. Be loyal to your purpose. Be free in your detachment. And above all, be true to your integrity. That's not just how you win her respect. That's how you win yourself.